Hi, wrestling fans, and welcome to another action-packed. Well, we'll try. We'll give it the old college try. I'm not making you any promises. It might stink, but I'm glad you're here for AIWF Ringside Wrestling for June 9th, 2024. If you're watching on YouTube, it may be a little bit later, but hello, Facebook friends. As always, I have Hall of Famers Brian and Reagan Danzig and Stephen Hayes with us, and we're awaiting the omnipresent Rick Diesel, who is not
Ring
really
that bell.
proving his omnipresence tonight because, as my understanding, Santa Claus is omnipresent, which means he can go anywhere. But we have not seen Rick Diesel yet, but he's supposed to join us shortly. How is everybody doing?
We're still awake. Good. It's late. Yeah, everybody. I think it's pretty obvious what my shoot job is. I'm not gonna say specifically, but I think it's pretty obvious from the way I talk. I'm usually about in the bed at 8:30 on weeknights, so this is a struggle bus for me.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I have a job where I have to be ready to rock and roll, not at the crack of dawn, but just past it. So, um, like Rodney Carrington said, if he was a preacher, he wouldn't be worth the shit as an example, and he would come into church on Sunday mornings and lean up to the microphones and say, "Let's sing some hymns and get the hell out of here." So, if we want to do the show that night, do a speed that way that tonight, and do the speedy version, we certainly can. So, I hope nobody
AC's already in the chat talking crap about the 49ers, which I don't. He's like, you tell Matt to get T's Creations to make Matt an AIWF Tumblr. 49ers ain't paying for that kind of advertisement.
I don't give a shit what the 49ers are paying. I give a shit less what you think about them, Ace. How about that?
Look, we're already cussing and we're 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a ride tonight.
But AC, so just so you know, I did see the new copy you wrote for the commercial, and I will get that laid down in a couple of days and get it up to Rick Diesel. Okay. So I saw the changes that you made. I understand why you made them. Probably a good move. So, but I'll kind of try. Well, I can't work off it tonight, but we'll do something for you. So, AC is the owner and proprietor of our newest sponsor, Secondhand Heroes and Home for Wayward Villains, up around the Lynchburg, Virginia area. And guys, I got to tell you, I wish the motherfucker was open here in Concord. Honestly, I mean, it's a comic shop. He's got old 80s style cabinets. I think you're like an old SNES and a Sega Genesis you can play right in the store. So it'd be a good chance for you guys that are our age or a little bit younger. Like if your kids don't know the joy of playing arcade cabinets, you don't have a retro arcade in your area. If you're in the Lynchburg, Virginia area, you need to go check this place out. I mean, I saw they had a Dragon's Lair machine, and that thing was a quarter eater if there ever was one. But these are set to free play, so you're not going to break the bank if you go in there. So know that going forward, not going to have to pay for those credits on Dragon's Lair. But which is probably a good thing because the words that I remember as a little kid coming out of adults' mouths that played Dragon's Lair as it ate their paycheck were not kind. So I don't know if has everybody here played Dragon's Lair? Know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
I've never even got past the first beep.
Yeah.
Like I can't even because the thing is like when it beeps is when you have to hit the joystick.
Yeah.
So it's beep and I can't. I don't have enough.
Or swing the sword.
Yeah, I don't. I cannot. Ryan, are you any good at it?
No, I'm terrible at it.
See now, I bought a version for the PS3 online. That's the only reason I keep my PS3 because I've told you before it's got Dragon's Lair 1 and 2 and Space Ace on it, and you can set it to a mode where it puts a little control like an arrow and a button in the middle, and when you hear that, you can glance down and it'll show you what direction to push, and it's still hard. Even using the guide, it's hard.
Yeah, it's a hard game.
So, kids, if you haven't checked it out, look it up online. It was incredible for its time. The guy who animated it worked for Disney before he did that video game. So, yeah. So anyway, Secondhand Heroes in I can't remember the name of the city. Yeah, it's one of the suburbs in Lynchburg, but we'll get to it later. All right, so let's see if we can't start working our way through this. Let me share my screen. Get the slideshow going. Let's see. And God, I miss football. Is anybody watching the UFL? I'm not.
I don't watch football
I know
anyway.
y'all don't. What
Which
about you,
is
Stephen
which
Hayes?
the
Ain't
people that
had time, man.
the little ones that I work with in the county I work with, like football is life. It's like Friday Night Light, obsessive. And when they ask me what is your favorite football team, I'm like, I don't even know. I
You
was like, I
just
don't even watch football, and they just think it's like the craziest thing they've ever heard.
Yeah, I understand. I love it too. I love it. Instagram there, folks. You see it. And as we get closer to showtime, myself and Rick Diesel will get a little more active on there. Now, if you just want some wrestling related content, but mostly people getting hurt, and it's people who deserve it. Okay, we're not talking about grandma getting run over by a reindeer here. We're talking about like um people trying stupid tricks on skateboards and stuff. It's like, here's another old time reference. It's like if the guys on Jackass had no athletic ability or any professional guidance, right? You know, just like what bad things would happen to people at Mad Matt Concord. You can come over there and see that. I mostly retweet other stuff, so I'm not an influencer by any stretch of the imagination. There's our
It would be
TikTok.
my childhood if I'd have had a cell phone and a camera.
I'm kind of glad that I did not have a cell phone or camera
Yeah.
at some
Amen.
points in my life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm always, you know, I'll talk to my niece and nephew about that sometimes, like how fortunate I was and all that kind of stuff, and they're just like, yeah, well, good for you. So I think they're a little envious, but like in a way they don't care because it, you know, there's nothing they can do about the world they live in, right? They just got to
Right.
deal with it. So that's our TikToks. Come on over and see us there. I'm not, look, guys, I have to admit, like, I got the TikTok, man, that advertised the wrestling, and that's what I do. But I mean, I'm getting close to 50, and I just really don't give a shit about TikTok. Twitter and Instagram, I'm cool with, but I just,
You
TikTok.
gotta cultivate it though to the stuff you like.
Well,
Like
that's a problem. A lot of the wrestling stuff that's on TikTok is just straight garbage. And I'm not like you, Reagan. I can't enjoy bad wrestling. It makes me nauseous. It makes my head hurt. And it honestly, do y'all remember that show Here Comes Honey Boo Boo?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Do you remember? Did you guys ever have the feeling when you were watching that show that your brain cells were dying?
I did
Like you
not
could
watch that
feel
show.
them dying. That's the way I feel about some of the wrestling content on TikTok.
I
So
love
Yeah.
it. Oh, I just think bad wrestling is just another genre of wrestling to enjoy and to to watch. So
I'll talk about something bad that's turning into something good here in just a second, but here's where we are on YouTube. And thank you for your support on YouTube. I cannot thank you enough. The YouTube has grown unlike anything that we thought we would ever see. Both channels, AIWF Network, AIWF Ringside Wrestling, where this show is archived, and the fan cam footage is archived. We got more coming out. I hadn't programmed anything for tomorrow, so beat me with bamboo rods if you see fit. Good luck trying to get through your keyboards, but anyway, we'll get some good content up for you this week. I can pretty much show whatever I want to from Spring Jam now because that's been out on the network long enough. So, and the response to the fan cam footage has been great. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, hitting the bell. Do it on this video right now. It really helps us out. So thank you. Tonight is also NXT Underground Battleground Las Vegas. And somebody that's really improved that I've knocked on this show before, but I'm gonna say something. That's The Rock's daughter, Ava. She's the acting general manager. And you could tell she didn't have any TV experience when she first came on. She talked too fast. She has big teeth, which is not an insult. I got big teeth too. And so but she slowed down. You can understand what she's saying now. She's enunciating. She's just doing fantastic. So good for you, lady, man. Keep digging. You'll be all right. I know you got all the push behind you in the world. I don't know if any of you guys watch NXT and have noticed that. Have you? No.
She has a presence now.
Yes. Yeah. She's doing well. I wish she would take that damn ring out of her nose though. She looks like a bull at the rodeo. But that's the way I feel about all nose rings. So that's not just to hers. And if you're offended by that, well, we all got our own taste. So fuck off. Boy, I am in a bad mood.
Everybody on here is very surly tonight.
It's because we had to come
It's
in
late.
late.
But I'm gonna say something is going on. Something the message you just sent me, something's going on. And I don't know what it is, but I think something's going on.
With Rick Diesel.
With Rick Diesel.
Like what is
Once he gets on here, we'll figure out.
Yeah, I think there's something like
somebody let him get into a bottle. It doesn't go well when he drinks.
No, this is I don't know. I honestly don't, and this is not being funny. It's not being a work. I don't know what's going on with what he sent me. So so
all right.
Let's see once he signs on.
Yeah. Maybe one of those feral cats got a hold to somebody at the park. But anyway, speaking of the park, that was not a good segue to encourage you to come and buy out tickets to see wrestling in 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks, as we do our next television taping, Saturday, June 22nd. I need to let you wrestling fans know this is going to be J.A.C's last appearance in the AIWF Mid Atlantic until he returns from Japan in November. So, and we don't even know if we'll get him before the end of 2024 because he wrestles here, South Carolina, Tennessee. He's staying pretty busy these days. And Clara as well. She's usually wherever he's at. So you better get out there and see him. He's made up a lot of noise that he wants another crack at Justin Flash because he thought that Flash letting Corey Edsel steal the title was disrespectful to the championship. And he is not a happy camper. So we'll have to see what happens there. But Clara's going to be there. Mickey Phelps going to be there. Ryan Mandis is going to be there. Well, him and Ty Tyson in the same building. Watch out. Con O'Kelly's going to be there. And looking forward to hadn't seen Con O'Kelly come through in a while. So good to see him. The Higher Calling, all your favorites. Come on out and join us. It's so much fun in person. Tickets are only $8 for the floor, $6 for the bleachers. That's Saturday, June 22nd, and we may have some match announcements for you by next week. Don't know, but it's coming, so be ready. And here's our calendar for the rest of the school year, as it were, our scheduled 2024 dates as we knock off, and the last date will be November 16th until March 2025, but we've got several big events still coming. Capital Punishments is coming up at the middle of July. Then we got 2 shows in August 31st, the big one, Deal with the Steel. And then, of course, September 20th and 21st. I am so tempted to make arrangements to get a hotel room and just come up there and stay so I can do both nights of that.
Oh, the fair shows are so much fun. Like it's just because there's like it's good wrestling. Like the wrestling is fantastic, but it's nice to just go and just have fun. And it's a really fun environment. It's a lot different than the shows and the TV shows. It's just, I guess you can think of it as like a house show. So it's like a little more flexibility, a little more fun and stuff. It's nice.
That and you're getting a lot of you're bringing in a new audience. It's a lot of people who are just going to see the fair. And then they say, oh, there's wrestling going on. And they go and they watch it. And, we've had several people who have come to see the fair show who then start becoming regulars at our other shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very good time. And it's a good time to, when you're going to the fair, to sit down and rest for a little while from the walking around and getting out of the hot sun. So yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's probably, other than extreme content, which we just finished up with, the fair shows are probably my favorite, because you get to come do wrestling and there's the fair. So a lot of fun. And, Brian, a lot of times you'll see people that don't normally come through the AIWF Mid Atlantic. They'll say, they'll see that we're doing the fair show and be like, hey, can I come up there and wrestle? Sure, come on, you know. And so
It's also good to watch people wrestle that you wouldn't normally get to see wrestle. Like I'm saying, like even with our own, like the guys who are there like a lot, like you'll get to see them, have matches with people you might not, always get to see them have matches with, which is fun. Sometimes you see surprise people like the Tough Customer, I believe, was there last year. So
yeah,
and that's a deep cut into AIWF history.
that and some of our biggest AIWF stars have made their debut at the fair shows. J.A.C.'s first match with AIWF Mid Atlantic was at the fair.
Yep.
So
well, so and he's been off to the races ever since then. So he's going to be headed over to Japan in August. So make sure you come out and see us on June 22nd and get your last look at J.A.C. before he goes over there to Japan. And his life has totally changed by living in a foreign country, because it's going to happen. I don't think his personality is going to change much. But well, his perspective on a lot of things in life is going to change. Nothing bad, don't get me wrong, but
it's going to
I've never
expand
spent
him.
Huh?
He's going to be expanded.
Yes, he will.
His worldview, and yeah, so
yep.
be interesting.
Japanese food, Japanese culture for 1, 2, 3 months. Yeah. It'll change him. That's for sure. I wonder if Clara's going with him, or if she's going to stay here and hold the fort down, or what's going on there. But anyway, I'll just ask him when we see him. Anyway, let's talk about Premier Auto Detailing. They were our latest sponsor until Secondhand Heroes came on. We say hands down the best car cleaning service in town. They cover the Mount Airy, Surry County area, do detail work, but I mean, they'll just wash your car if that's all you need. I mean, just call them, ask them. They'll get up with you. Tell them AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722. Do residential and commercial jobs. So if you got a used car lot, you don't want to hire a new man or a new girl to just wash the cars for you and keep them clean. This is like right up Premier Auto Detailing's alley, right? So, also if you got like a construction company, fleet service, you got some dump trucks you need hosed down every now and then, man, this is the place. They'll help you out at a very reasonable price. So Premier Auto Detailing, 336-883-5722. For more information, our next great sponsor is Tees Creations Custom Apparel. They are the official apparel merchandise people of AIWF Mid Atlantic Wrestling. Look forward. If you are a wrestler with the Mid Atlantic, hit them up, man. If you've got a t-shirt design, they can make it way cheaper for you than if you go through a certain third party in Chicago. But for those of you in the general public who just are interested in custom made t-shirts, maybe for a little league team, family reunion, church homecoming, I can't think of anything else if anybody else wants to jump in, just any special occasion. They do custom made t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. They do tumblers. They do the front license plate.
Maybe school field trips.
School field trips. Yeah. I got smashed at the Booker T. Washington National Monument. No, that's awful.
I was thinking like Miss Blah Blah's class to keep everybody together.
And neon green.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the kid that stole my box lunch at the D-Day Memorial. So, so anyway, they're all over the place internet wise. Tees Creations 22.com, Tees Creations by Allied Apparel on Facebook, and at TikTok, Tees Creations. Their TikTok's lively. I mean, it's a lot of loud music, a lot of flashing lights and bells and whistles and whatnot. And
Epileptic seizure.
Yeah, you beat me to it. That's what I was headed to, but I got
probably
myself
not the best way to do an advertisement.
It might cause you to have a seizure. No, Morn, it's not that bad. It's not like what we used to call it back in the day, Japanimation, but they call it anime these days. But yeah, it's not anything that bad. But anyway, and that doesn't happen anymore. That was just that one time.
That's right.
But Allied, look, the advertising's cheap here, and if you just heard those reads, you can see why. But $10 a month will get you in the door. I'm selling it like it's a subscription service. Get you. It's $10 to get you in the door. Call 1-900-909-9900. You know, I can't tell you about it here, but I can talk
Kids,
about
Lee
it.
ask
Marshall
your
is
parents for
standing by.
permission.
Yeah, they're great, but only $10 a month. And we give you 4 reads. So if we take a week off, yeah, it's not going to affect you any. You know, I mean, it's $10 a month. I mean, it's great advertising for a small business. You know, if you do stuff on the side like during tax season, it's perfect for you. Or if you want to advertise a show and I mean, for AIWF members, I guess we do it for nothing, but no, I don't want to say that. You know what? It's $10 a month to advertise your small business.
No
America.
fine print. No
Yeah,
fine
I'm not
print.
gonna speak for the business. You know, I'm not the boss. You know, I'm just a lowly producer and coach.
I like to say at work, it's above my pay grade.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. It's above my pay grade. That's how I cop out of stuff too, Reagan. So because I don't say it's not my job, because like
No.
when somebody says that to me in a corporate environment, like it makes me almost see red and want to break their face. You know, because we're all working for the same company. You know, I know it's not your job, but I wouldn't be asking you for help if I didn't need help, jerk. You know, so yeah, good advice to you youngsters out there when you get into the world. Do whatever you can to make your boss's job easier, and you will last a long time at places and move your way up. I will say that most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Or you just get saddled with all the work that the other people don't do.
that's right. But it's a good way to get yourself plugged into the good old boy and girl network. And so that's important. So
Right.
it's very important. Don't ever let people tell you that it's not. Don't ever let people make you let you believe that you're above it, because you're not. Yeah, so not trying to discourage anybody's hopes and dreams. NXT starting off, Sexy Red's in the ring.
Man, this we are already off the road. If you don't get on here soon, we're not gonna make it.
No, we're not. We're gonna read the other ads and get the hell out of here.
The show started at off the rail o'clock is what happened.
Oh, we need a shirt that says that. Maybe we should
Yeah.
talk to T's Creations, AIWF Ringside Wrestling. What did you say exactly? It started going off the rail.
Off the rail o'clock.
It's off the rail o'clock.
Off the rail o'clock.
Oh, if anybody out there wants to send some well wishes my way Wednesday afternoon, if you're a believer, prayers would be greatly appreciated. If you're a non-believer, good vibes also greatly appreciated. You know, I don't care. Send them my way. I got to go have 2 cavities filled Wednesday afternoon, and I hadn't been under the drill at the dentist office for a couple of years. I've had a good run going. So, and these are still microscopic, so they're not going to have to drill that much. They caught them early. But still, it's no fun. And Dennis told me, he was like, Matt, you're gonna be in the chair an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I was just like, oh.
The way you were talking and the way you brought up age earlier, I figured it was about time for that colonoscopy.
Oh, I already had one of those.
Okay, good job. Well
yeah.
done.
Oh man, that was the best nap I've ever had, man. I'm gonna tell you what, whoever invented propofol, thank you. I mean, I know you feel bad that it killed Michael Jackson, but that wasn't your fault. So
No, that was not his fault.
No.
well,
Those are nice naps, yeah.
I'll tell you this, it was funny when I met the anesthesiologist today, I went in for that procedure. He said, yeah, I think I'm gonna prescribe you propofol for the type of sleep you need to not be discomforted in any way by this procedure. And I said, propofol. And like, my anesthesiologist clearly grew up in North Carolina. I mean, he got the accent right. Country boy can survive, clearly. And I said, why does propofol sound familiar? And he's writing on his pad, and he looked up at me and he goes, oh, well, that's the stuff that killed Michael Jackson. And I said, well, I don't know if I want any of that. Like, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna give you that much.
You got to take a lot.
You're not famous enough to insist on too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is, like, this is the thing though, like, when you take that, like, they're like, hey, we're putting it in your IV, it's gonna burn for a second, da, 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 and then you feel that burn, and then you're out. I don't
Yeah.
understand how you would take it like just normally. That's crazy.
Well, they had mine, even though it's in a drip, it was in a big tank that looked like a helium tank. I know it wasn't because it was liquid, right? But it had clearly written on the side, it said, monitor vitals at all times while in use. And that's why Michael Jackson's not still with us, because his doctor went into the other room to call his girlfriend. So, but anyway, that has nothing to do with wrestling.
Have we discussed
Neither
anything
does
that
this
has to do with
podcast.
wrestling yet? Yeah, we have. We and you said that. Oh man.
Somebody that I did do a wrestling show with a couple of times and had some great moments. And while I was at Star News, Mark Childry had his last broadcast last week. He did an interview with Charles. He said some very kind things about me and the wrestling show, but mostly me. Because I mean, I spent more time with him. It's not, I mean, I was trying to crack a one-liner, but yeah. And I appreciate Mark. When I worked together, Mark and I hit it off instantly. We were good friends. We can both cuss like sailors, although you never know it by his presence on television. I mean, he's just so clean cut, so smooth, and all this kind of stuff. And but Mark's to say he started off in radio in Reedsville many moons ago. We've had many conversations on Facebook Messenger about how uncomfortable Conway Twitty's lyrics make us feel these days. And compare, I was like, well, why do a lot of those country singers, some of the stuff they say in their songs back in the 70s was real creepy. Did you find it creepy at the time? The answer was yes. And so did a lot of people that listened to country music, thought that shit was creepy at the time in the 70s. So it wasn't like people were oblivious to it. It was just.
I remember when I put Lucille from Kenny Rogers on my or I guess, yeah, Don't Take Your Love to Town. Like I hadn't heard it in a very, 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 very long time. And I forgot the lyric of I'll take my gun and put you in the ground. I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Well.
Look at here. We got some things have picked up a little bit here.
Thank God.
We were just
we can talk about wrestling now.
Yep. They're gonna watch them adjust the sound, but yeah. So NXT starting off. I see. Looks like they're going to do the North American Women's Championship. We were talking about that before we went on the air. The Mid-South tribute title still going on. But J.A.C. has joined us. Glad to have you. We were talking about you before you head off to the land of the rising sun in a couple of months. For what is surely going to be, several months of just consistent beatings by the Japanese. But I know you'll come back tougher and better for it. You're still showing muted, just so you know, before you try to say anything. And I will let you comment as soon. There you go. Now I think you will. Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yeah, see, I'm bad at all the technology stuff. I had to have her come over here and mess with everything.
It's all right. It's all right. If you don't use it all the time, man, you will be that way. So, yeah. But no, we were talking about you heading over to Japan. So if you'd like to kind of, we hadn't really got any details on it because I didn't know what you wanted to share with the public, what you didn't. But share with them now, since we got you on the line, like, whatever you're comfortable sharing, what this big adventure is going to be like for you.
Yeah, so I'm going over to train with Marvelous at the Marvelous Dojo. I'll also be doing a tour with Marvelous as well. I might be doing stuff with Noah. I don't know yet for sure. That was originally discussed. I got the contract with everything yesterday. And so that's still being discussed. But for the most part, I am going and doing a tour with Marvelous for 3 months. I'll be gone August through October. Yep.
Man, this, to me, is just like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd be shitting gold bricks if it was me, especially as you get closer to the day. This is a big, I know we've kind of been loosely swearing tonight, and I'm going to do it again, but this is a big fucking deal, man. I mean, it is.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. This has been very surreal. It didn't really hit me, that everything was happening and processing until the contract came. Mm-hmm. Because, we went to the tryout and, I got picked for the after the tryout, but even then it didn't really process with me. And then when the contract came, it did. And I'm like, looks right at Claire, said, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do without you for 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
Just-
gonna suck, but just focus on work.
Yeah.
Just focus on work while you're there. You'll be fine. But this is a big deal. So we got our answer to our other question. Is Clara going with you? No, she's not.
No, she'll be back here still, doing her thing.
Be back here making dates. So, and she's
Yep.
our women's world champion. So I'm kind of selfishly glad that she's not going to be going with you, so she can be defending that title around here. But
Yeah, I am. Well, she got to do her thing. Like we talked about it, and it was like, I'm like, no, you still got to do your stuff. You still got a career. You got to focus on you. Just because I'm doing this doesn't mean nothing.
there you
Nothing
go.
changes.
Working on it like a real team, kids. Yeah, good example. Good example. Y'all hadn't been married long, but you seem like you got the makings for a long time there.
I sure hope so. I mean, you still got to teach me how to wash clothes because I don't know how to do none of that stuff. I'm screwed.
It's not that hard, man. The machine does all the work.
I'll say that as American, we don't separate anything, so we just throw it all in, put it on cold, wash it, and then put it in the dryer. So just taking some old people marriage advice, just throw it all in. Claire probably disagrees because I'm one of those.
I probably will just throw it all in and ignore her.
Well, I don't wear a lot of white myself anyway. So unless you have a lot of stuff that you got wear that's white, you really can get away with throwing it, like Reagan said, throwing it all in cold water. The detergent these days is designed to wash in cold water. So it's really easy. It's way easier than it was even 20 years ago. And now we're talking about laundry.
We got J.A.C. on here.
Yeah, you get about laundry.
Final points of doing laundry.
We're a life podcast now.
Yeah. We are. We're quickly becoming a public service. We'll teach you how to creatively swear, but also do the laundry.
Oh God.
How to shop around the outside of the grocery store, stay away from the middle, and all that kind of stuff. So, the girls are still getting in the ring for this North American ladder match over at NXT. It's a beautiful look. It's the UFC. There was the same building the UFC was using during the pandemic, right? But they got seats in there, and I think it looks like they won't show the other side, but it looks like it probably seat about. Well, I don't know, man. That looks like maybe close to 400 or 500. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like the regular UFC, more like an NXT crowd. Honestly, it looks about the same. Not for a pay-per-view, but for their television shows.
Yeah, it's bigger than the television arena, though. I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks like it is to me. I'd say the television arena maybe sit 200, 250 at max. But the rumor is when they go to the first of the year and move over to CW, they're going to go back to Full Sail University in that bigger room they had there. So we'll see. Our blasting cap is joining us now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick.
Everybody straighten up. Boss man's here.
Can't hear you, boomer.
Oh, that's so mean. That's such a mean thing to say.
I call myself my friends and I call me a Gen X boomer, so I can call him a boomer.
Boomers were born in like the 50s, though, man. They were the children of World War II veterans. So
they
were.
But yeah, so
I know my mother's a boomer.
my mother's also a boomer, but I say boomer things.
We can't hear you, Rick Diesel.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Oh, that's right. He's it looks like he's in a hotel room, so he's the victim of crappy hotel Wi-Fi, probably is what this is.
Not only is it crappy hotel Wi-Fi, but it's crappy Canadian hotel Wi-Fi.
Oh no, he's in Canada. Oh, what a nightmare.
Canada, not Canada.
Oh Lord, our nightmare to the north. Yeah.
Parents or Philip, I'm not sure which one.
Yeah. Well, glad to have you. What in the world are you doing way up there in Canada?
I'm at Niagara Falls.
Oh, well,
You getting married?
That's where, that's where Lois Lane discovered Clark Kent was Superman.
I told her a long time ago that I would give her a trip to Niagara Falls, and this just happened to fall into the time after the weekend at the Fiddlers Convention in Mount Airy. So everybody decided this is the weekend. This is the week was going to take off from the food trucks.
Okay.
So you took your significant other on a nice trip, yet you plan to be on this show, I would kick your ass, but yeah.
Business first.
Well,
Yeah.
let's we have. You all right?
Yeah,
She almost fell into the hot tub.
that's awesome.
No, we had that conversation, and if I hadn't have been driving, she probably would have kicked my ass. But that in the spirit of fairness, I did told her I wouldn't stay on here long. I'd just make it a
Good.
and since
Rick's in Niagara Falls.
guest anyhow. So
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I've always wanted to go up to Niagara Falls and see that. But they turn the falls off at night anyway, so I mean, there's not much to do right now. So
yeah.
I went in high school and it was in the winter and the whole river was frozen except for the falls and then the whirlpool.
did y'all go
It
on the
was-
Canada side or just the American side?
We went both on both sides.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
we saw Phantom of the Opera in Toronto.
Oh, wow. Oh, they dragged you to Toronto
We're not
too?
going to Toronto.
Toronto's the cleanest place in the world. They have to bring trash. They have to bring trash into Toronto when places film there to pretend to be New York City.
Oh, wow. That's funny. I've always wanted to go to Montreal, man. I saw Dave Attell many years ago on Insomniac go up there and they gave him a Quebec feast, which is just a giant breakfast with a big bottle of maple syrup that looks like a wine bottle and you just basically drown everything in it and it looked like heaven. So,
Well, we're actually in Ontario,
yeah,
and we met the meanest woman in the world at the border crossing.
I'm sure you did.
Made us roll the rear windows down so she could look back of the car, make sure we wasn't smuggling midgets. You know how it works.
Yeah, well, people
Not-
people in the US go try to drop off people they don't like in Canada all the time. So I mean, I got to check.
There's somebody I don't like that got dropped off in Canada. I'm very glad they're still there.
Oh, wow.
Finger crossed that she stays there.
That's funny. Oh, mercy. Anyway, all right. So I don't really know what else we could talk about like wrestling related because we've already sold the show.
Did y'all sell the show?
Yeah, we did. The
Oh, well,
June
damn.
22nd before we got there. Yeah.
Mimi,
told
go
her-
ahead, shoot your promo on here about why you should have Justin Flash even though you haven't been around and he's got the belt and
Yeah, because I thought you made an
Yada, yada,
interesting
yada.
point when you were at our last live event. So good talk to the people on the internet.
Well, I was the champion for 365 plus freaking days last time, and then I never got an immediate rematch, even though I beat former world champions over and over and over again. And then Justin Flash has lost the freaking title before. Justin Flash is barely defending the belt. He defended against Corey Hassel and then two other people. And I was defending the belt every 2 freaking weeks. What kind of champion is Justin Flash compared to the champion I was? I beat Justin 3 times. He beat me once. And I never got the rematch. What kind of bull crap is that? In reality. And then if I get the championship, I can take it over in Japan and defend it and then make the Mid Atlantic Championship a world champion. So there's that too.
Mhm.
So it's just the belt's meant to be with its rightful owner, which is me. And now it looks all nice, shiny, and pretty. And I definitely want it because it looks a lot nicer and updated than the one I had.
It is shiny. It's pretty.
it is very
posted
shiny and
pretty
pretty.
I even posed with for a picture with Justin Flash in the parking lot after the show because me and title belts, new title belts. I always love it. I'm a belt mark. So yeah, it is nice and shiny. That's for sure. If you like shiny things, that's your title. That's for sure.
If you're like
it's a
that
pretty
crab in
championship.
Moana, you'll like it.
Yeah, but when
It's
he
a pretty championship.
when
It
he
is
made
pretty,
the comment about taking that thing to Japan and defending, I know everybody on the championship committee got a boner immediately when they heard that comment.
Not
So,
all of us have, not all of us get boners. Some people might be on there that don't get boners.
I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie. I got
I've never heard the turd lady boner.
I ain't gonna lie. I got a little chub just the thought of him whooping Flash's ass. So
Well,
that's-
Somebody's got to do it again.
if anybody is an expert on whipping Justin Flash's ass, it's Stephen Hayes. Stephen Hayes attacked Justin Flash in a roller rink one night, and
Damn
with
right
a
I
bunch of
did.
kids around. That was very dangerous. Thank God nobody got hurt. Well, Flash got hurt, but at least there was no.
You were right.
damage.
Nobody got hurt.
Yeah, there was no collateral damage. A couple of kids slid into the wall, and one I think knocked over a drink, but nothing bad. That was pretty awesome, and we caught the whole thing on film.
Yeah. This morning on Facebook, I saw that Justin Flash was at Cracker Barrel here at Clemens, and I was like, "He better be glad it wasn't a few years ago. I'd be in that parking lot waiting for him when he came out."
Oh, so he was, I live in Clemens now.
Cracker Barrel, you're gonna be useless.
Does he hop on here much anymore?
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Every now and then he shows up in the chat more, So.
Oh, so he's a mark and just shows up in the chat.
Now.
Camera.
There's nothing wrong with being in this business and still being a mark.
Yeah.
I've said that all the time that I'm a mark. So
Well, I'm a mark too, but I'm a mark that's active and not sitting there in the business chat like a freaking 5-year-old nerd behind a keyboard while I'm the champion of the company instead of hopping on and actually saying some freaking words.
Woo. Well,
these are all very valid points. I was going to argue, but I can't.
well, no,
Bruce hurts.
But part of that is it was explained to me by Justin Flash. He and Mrs. Flash have a contract to keep the marriage peaceful. Saturdays are for wrestling. Sundays are time with the wife and the kids. So you probably won't see him. And we're not going to do anything.
That's why you get a wife that's in the business.
Well, sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
No,
Some people aren't as lucky as J.A.C. and I.
That's
So,
right.
See,
Yeah,
my
that's-
wife's not in the business. She sits in a damn car and reads a book when she comes to a wrestling show. Well, she does give me the parking lot report, which I guess that kind of counts for being
That's
in the
kind of
business.
like being in the business. Yeah.
It's just not as wild these days as it was back in the day.
She's security adjacent.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, I guess I can ask this then. Rick, Reagan, can I beat Justin's ass this coming up show? Because I'm there and I probably won't be back till November. Like, this is the only time that we're going to be able to sign this thing in a dotted line. Like, now's the time to do it. You can email me the freaking contract and I'll sign it right now.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, he does have a point. He is the former champion and never got a rematch.
Yeah.
And that is true. You do have that rematch clause. But that's as I say, no, that's above my pay grade. That's a commissioner.
And just so you know, J.A.C., I have an illustrious history with the championship committee. Number one, I don't sit on it. And number two, they don't listen to me very often. But no, they don't follow my advice, which is the AIWF still in business after 32 years. So that's probably the appropriate thing to do. But they do listen to me, and I appreciate that. I would love to see that match.
Yeah, that's another thing for me too. I mean, the matches that they had, all of them were classics. Again, my favorite was the Iron Man match.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would love to see them in the ring again.
Yeah, and their match at Deal with the Steel still one of the biggest fan cam videos on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. So
even though I'm in Canada and it makes me feel kind of passive, I say let's do it.
I say let's do it too.
I do too.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna put and I'm gonna have Tim start running some laps so he can keep up with the action.
Can we do? Let's have no timer on that board too, and let's just go. Let's just see who
There you
wins.
go.
I like that idea too.
Because like, if we're gonna answer who's better between me and him after all these years now, like, we need to do it now. Like, I don't want to sit here and think about him another freaking second. Like, we're going to put that time. There's going to be nobody out there with me, nobody out there with him. And I'm going to whip his ass like I did in the 30-minute Ironman match when I was by myself. It's going to be the same thing as it was then. The result's the same. He can't beat me. He had Dalen last time help him. Freaking asshole.
I'm glad y'all approved that. I really am, because I was about to give him the one piece of Stephen Hayes advice. Whether they approve it or not, just show up and do it.
Yeah.
They can't stop you.
Yeah, they can't stop you from
Yeah,
running the
that's
ring.
another thing. He's just going to do it anyway, so we might as well make it official.
And I have learned not to stand in between two third graders, so I'm definitely not going to stand in between Justin Flash and J.A.C.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna bounce. I don't know what the data rates are in Canada. I know cheeseburgers are expensive, but That way I've lived up to my end of the bargain. Now I got to live up to her end of the bargain. So
All right. Yep. Keep your marriage safe.
you got to have fun.
Yeah. Take care.
See you later, boss man.
Yeah.
See ya.
So
Yeah.
Rick Diesel pulling time in Canada, but at least he's somewhere fun. So, and we kid. I've never been to Canada. I've seen it from Ohio, and that's close enough for me. But no, actually, I'd like to go to Montreal for that thing I was talking about, and but they speak French in Montreal, so I'd get a stress headache. Maybe go for one night, get the Quebec feast and then go back to the English part. Montreal Quebec tried to secede from Canada one time back, I think like in the 60s or 70s. They sure did.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work out, but
Those things never do work out.
no.
Just ask Texas.
Just ask anybody that grew up in the South. Let's see. All right, let me read some ads real quick. Let me get this stuff out of the way. I know our lovely sponsors. What's this one called?
Branch management.
Yeah, branch
Management.
management. So yeah, you're getting your $10 worth right here, boy. That's why we're putting a headlock on high advertising prices, high quality ads like this. But I don't think they got the hanging baskets much anymore, but they do have stuff in the greenhouse. But if you need any kind of landscaping work done, weed eating, get your grass cut, if you got a great big old yard and just ain't up to cutting it no more, they can help you out. They're very competitively priced because, as the proprietor of branch management told me one time, seems like every asshole in Mount Airy with a trailer and a mower has got a lawn service now. So you're going to be able to get
it's kind of like wrestling organizations.
Yeah. And but give them a call, man. They can help you out, man, because they will undercut the competition. As you can see, they offer pressure washing, general contracting, and gutter cleaning. Free estimates, 336-648-2487. 336-648-2487. Give them a call and tell them you saw the ad on AIWF Ringside Wrestling. And of course, that's our YouTube info again, but I want to get right to the main event of our advertising. Tease Treats, best concessions in wrestling. They're taking a week off with the food truck. As you can see, Rick Diesel is in Canada. And yes, I'm mispronouncing that on purpose, just in case anybody out there wants to get smart.
We need to put a disclaimer.
Yeah, we came up with that when I was in the working in the Philippines. We had Canadian coworkers, and to say that their business ethics were not on the up and up would be an understatement. Some of them, not all of them. So we started calling the country Canada. So just for fun, and it stuck. So anyway, Tease Treats operates in the good old USA. So you don't have to worry about any of that Canadian quality.
USA A-OK.
Yeah. Now I'm seeing the blood sport. Okay, USA. But I tried to get that on a t-shirt, but they never shipped it to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, great pizza, delicious dogs, decadent desserts. They got mini donuts. They got these milkshakes that are out of control. They got frozen bandanas. And so I also did that on purpose.
That sounds like something Ricky would say. Frozen bandana.
I'm gonna have to put a frozen bandana on that.
Yeah. That comes from an old David Copperfield bit, where I got that from. But yeah, frozen bananas. But the milkshakes are crazy. She'll take some of these milkshakes and put like a piece of cheesecake on top of it. I mean, just insane. I mean, if you're diabetic, I wouldn't try it, but the desserts.
You got to call me out like that, Matt.
I'm one. I mean, look at me. I got my own gravitational pull. You don't have to take fucking insulin.
Amen.
But anyway, ask for a chocolate frozen bananas. All the food's good at Tease Treats. Can't go wrong with them. And so yeah.
And their new chicken sandwich.
Yep.
Man, it's good.
Yeah. I need to get a picture of that up here.
Profanity free ads cost $15 a month.
Yeah, we're gonna.
That's right. I was dropping the F-bomb during an ad. Oh, you could never tell that I trained at a radio station that's been open since the 40s, right? Oh, that's where I got my training. WNBA, I miss you.
I can't even get this pay-per-view to come up.
That's what she said.
Well, they're at commercial right now.
Oh,
Yes.
I keep hitting watch now and it just spins. And then
Did anybody win the match, or did they just go to break? I didn't see a finish.
Who won the match?
Live updates, ladies.
Lonnie Jordan won the
Oh,
match.
Kalani Jordan won it. Oh yeah, she's best athlete of that group. That girl, yeah, she's impressive. She's what they call a blue chipper, ladies and gentlemen, blue chipper, like JR used to say about The Rock. This kid's a blue chipper. Let's see. I need to
Wait,
find.
there we go. I'll turn it down so it doesn't. I just want Brian. I don't want Brian to miss his woman. I want him to see her.
Well, you know, she's done a good job.
Jordan Grace. Brian has
that's what I
big
literally
thing
put
for
in the chat.
Jordan
I said,
Grace.
if Jordan Grace was first, I wasn't hopping on.
Yeah, she's done a great job of not posting stupid shit on social media for about the last 6 months or a year. So kudos to you, lady, because I was a fan at first, and then you run me off by posting dumb shit online, and now I'm starting to ease back in. So you know, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, lady. Hopefully you'll be very successful, make a lot of money in this business. Never met her. She's probably a perfectly nice person, but you know,
she's really nice. I did a commercial with her. She's
Brian's got a Mark picture with her.
yeah,
there you go.
I'm glad to hear that.
So we're practically best friends.
I mean, and some wrestling and somewhere somebody is saying that. Like they paid for a Mark picture, and like, yeah, me and Jordan Grace were like this.
Yeah. Oh, mercy. Let me see if I can find. I want to try to find those photos of the nerd store up in Lynchburg. Give me a second.
Yeah, you hear that, Ace? You got a nerd store.
Well, it says in that ad copy, come get your nerd on. So I mean, that's not breaking news.
Yeah, nerd isn't an insult anymore. It's
No.
Nerd is mainstream now.
Yeah, man. They had a sitcom that ran for 11 years about nerds, Big Bang Theory, and then they had a spin-off.
Me and Claire watched that spin-off.
Huh?
Me and Claire have been watching that spin-off recently. We were just watching it before NXT came on. Young Sheldon?
Yeah, I love Young Sheldon. You ain't gonna like the way it ends, though.
Thank you.
I mean,
Spoiler-free zone.
Well, did you want?
Well, considering if you watch the show, you know.
Well, I've watched Big Bang Theory, so I'm assuming how Young Sheldon's going to end. But
yeah, it's still a good show, though. Don't skip it because it's got a. I mean, even Chuck Lorre apologized. You know how Chuck Lorre puts his little notes at the end of all his shows.
Yeah.
At the end of Young Sheldon, he was talking about how they regretted the decision of inserting Sheldon's father dying in the storyline during the Big Bang Theory because now they had to follow through with it. And he said it was one of the only times in his career he experienced regret over something that he wrote. And I thought I was like, man, that's pretty cool, man. One of your fictional characters you got so close to, you're like, damn it, I hate that we have to kill them all.
I will have one nerd complain about Big Bang Theory.
What's that?
When they're going to watch the re-release of Raiders of the Lost Ark, I believe, and they don't get there early, and that is bullshit. If you are a true nerd, you're getting there 3 hours early to find your spot in line and not lose it.
Yeah, it's like
didn't Sheldon tell him to do that, and they ignored him?
Right? Yeah, but it's like it should have been the whole group. Like he should have been like, we should be there a week early, and they're like, no, we should only get there 5 hours early. But they were like, no, we don't have to get there early. And it's like what kind of nerds are these?
Considering this person right here camped out in a tent to get tickets for Fall Brawl one time, so
yeah,
I'm hardcore nerd with that.
And they played Halo all the time,
and that's not a nerd.
That's
thing.
not a nerd game.
No,
that's
a geek game.
Oh Lord! All right. Well, speaking of all that shit, let's take a look at some of the photos from Secondhand Heroes. This is our friend AC's. Look at all this stuff, man. VHS from the 80s. You look at the whole Highlander series on VHS. Boy, that's getting up there on the scale. You know,
leave Adrian Paul alone.
Hey, I like the first Highlander movie, but the ones after that,
no, they were terrible. Adrian Paul is very nice to look at, though.
Who's Adrian Paul?
That's the Highlander in that.
Oh, that's the
series.
On the TV series. Yes, the series.
Oh, the series. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you're talking to a nerd right here.
I like the first Highlander movie, but that was it. That's one of my favorite arcades right there, though. Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. I
Mhm.
think is the one. I can't tell if that's the first or the second one they're playing, but it says Turtles in Time on the cabinet, so it's probably got both of them in there.
Mhm.
But I love Turtles in Time. That it's a beat 'em up game, but it feels like you really go on adventure because all the levels are different once you get zapped by the time machine. You know, you go to the Old West and you go to different places. Place is right outside Lynchburg, Virginia. It's called Secondhand Heroes. And you can look them up on Facebook. I mean, they have got a ton. It's a comic shop, video game shop. They got the Funko Pops, which I didn't know what those were until just a few years ago. I admit how out of touch I am. I thought like you set them on a stand or something and they did something like they played a video game with you or
No, I
something.
tell you what they do. They take your money. Trust
Yeah.
me, I know.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, it was like, yeah, because I was in GameStop like, and I was like, hey man, what do these things do? And the guy was like, nothing. I was like, you don't plug them into a video game or something? I thought it was like Pokemon or something. You know, get new characters. And he's like, no,
Horny ass
man,
toys.
And
the
I had to
statues.
I had so many that I finally just had to I had to go through them because I didn't have enough room to display them. So
See, there's that Dragon Slayer machine. See it there, Brian.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they do like Monday Night Magic the Gathering tournaments. Oh, they got a Tron machine. I just noticed that. Oh wow.
Hmm.
So
I think
you-
Tron ate more of my money than Dragon's Lair ever did.
I think Tron the video game was actually more popular than Tron the movie.
Oh, it
Yeah,
had to
well,
be.
You know, because I mean I enjoy Tron the movie because of the bright colors and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know, man. A guy getting sucked into a computer in 1982. I don't know. I mean, it was a Disney movie. It was all right. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I did not like it. It's entertaining. You sit there, watch it for an hour and a half and not be bored. At least that's my opinion. Yeah,
Depending on the extracurricular activities.
that
Yeah.
Bruce is that Bruce Boxleitner?
where
Is he in that movie?
who Tron? I
Tron.
don't know. You'll have to Google it. Yeah. I mean, I never watched it high, but I bet you if you were like, you know, getting down with the
Yeah.
cannabis, man, those bright colors in a dark room at night, yeah, it'd probably make your senses tingle a little bit. Let's see. Not encouraging anybody to do that kind of thing now, but you know.
I just know about it because I read about it.
Yeah, that's me.
all.
Yeah, I read about it in a magazine. A magazine about what not to do to enjoy movies.
Yep. That's right.
But look at all this stuff, man. They do have tournaments and encourage people to come in and have their own game night and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what that is. Looks like a bunch
Hey,
of
those
cards.
are cards.
Cards.
it looks like Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, so I got a Super Pac-Man cabinet in there. Pac-Man was my jam. I'm not that great at it. Like I couldn't enter a tournament with a bunch of Japanese kids and do anything, but I did enjoy it. It was all the rage when I was a youngster. Hot Wheels, Marvel action figures. They say their inventory changes every day because they do like trading and stuff like that. So, you know, you can come in there and haggle. They'll haggle with you. So, but anyway, that's Secondhand Heroes right outside Lynchburg, Virginia. Let me get the next ad together and we'll get you that address. But check them out on Facebook for the time being. Secondhand Heroes and Home to Wayward Villains.
AC says it's Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh, okay. Magic.
Same difference.
Yeah.
You might have. I think that's a boomer comment because I think the Magic of the Gathering people they are a special breed of people.
I were one of them for a while, so yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, that's just like people that play Magic the Gathering is no different than any other, like any game that you play with a standard deck of cards, except there's just a shit ton more than 52 cards to play with. I mean,
And they cost a hell of a lot more money.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I know my friends were into it, man, back in the late 90s. And like, they would always ask me, do you want to play? Do you want to play? And I was like, no, I don't want to get hooked. I will sit here and watch y'all play. You play all you want. We'll pass around the doob or whatever, you know. And
First one's free.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm thankful I never got into that because if I would have probably spent way too much money.
Well, Pokemon's also making a huge resurgence with the youth.
I knew that was going to be trouble when they came out with the movie and it said the Pokemon first movie. That's how they advertised it, you know. And I was just like, oh, so they're planning a string of this shit. You know, just like the new Avatar movies, they've got like 5 more that they're gonna have.
Yeah.
And so, and then my wife finally got me to watch the new version of Dune. Right, I'd never seen the one from the 80s.
That first one's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, the David Lynch one? Yeah, it is terrible, but it is there's a reason it's terrible. So.
Well, it got me interested. I got the hook in my mouth, right? And so I watched part 2 yesterday.
Part 2 is amazing.
It was all I could do to stay awake. I thought it was paced tremendously slow. It was like everything took forever to happen. I was glad I didn't go to the theater and see it because I would have fell asleep. And because movies that long, I just ain't down with it no more.
That's why I have to watch stuff like that at home because, like I said, I'm too old to sit through I don't have the bladder for
I don't want to go into a movie theater for 4 hours anymore, man. I didn't even like doing it like when the Lord of the Rings came out and Harry Potter and all that shit. You know, I mean, it was just like
I'm paying $20 to take a nap.
Yeah, because like even
we
then,
do sound like boomers. You know how you said boomers were the children of the world? We sound like boomers right now. This is boomer. This is boomer talk.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's why they call me the Gen X boomer. So this is boomer talk.
It is
because we old.
Kids today with their long movies.
Yeah, these kids. Well, they stopped doing that. I mean,
well,
you know.
Okay, Howard the Duck was on. Howard the Duck was almost 2 hours long.
But that's Howard the Duck.
That was a classic that everybody loved.
Howard the Duck.
I'm just saying that there's been.
Do you think that people? Do you think that people like bump into like tourists in Hollywood bump into Leah Thompson to this day, and be like, remember that one movie in the 80s where where you fucked a duck? And then there was another movie in the 80s where you're trying to fuck your son. Remember that?
Oh, I'd do it. I'd do it. I would do it.
They said, you know, I heard a story once that they'd taken a Back to the Future script around Hollywood and then nobody wanted to make it. And they got desperate and went to Disney. And the guy at Disney, like, looked through the script and was like, this is a great story, man. You know, somebody's going to pick it up, but we can't. I mean, this dude's mother wants to have sex with him right here. We can't put the Disney name on something like that.
Oh man! Oh wow! Oh sorry.
Speaking of something,
now I'm watching the pay-per-view.
What do you guys, or have you guys read anything about Ricochet going to AEW? Or
I had read that his contract was up, and then I saw Swerve Strickland put up a picture of him as Prince Puma, and I did a little research, and I didn't realize he was kill shot. That Swerve Strickland was kill shot in Lucha Underground.
Wow.
So, oh wow, this match is good.
Yeah.
And I'm coming off of Lucha Underground. I was a huge Ricochet was one of my favorite. You know, even though he was Prince Puma there, like he was one of the best wrestlers I'd ever seen. And the stuff he could do was just fantastic. Wow. And I was kind of, because I was watching WWE a little bit when he came in, and I was kind of disappointed with what they did with him because, I thought he was on fire when they got him and stuff. But I know that people are wondering if she's gonna, what's her name, Samantha Irvin?
Yeah, I don't think she's going anywhere. She's got the ring announcing job on Raw. She'd be stupid to leave that gig.
I think that sometimes when guys' contracts are up, they will sometimes start the rumor mill going that they might be leaving, so that when during the negotiations, like, well, AEW is real interested. They're, I can't tell you the number, but so that sometimes they don't want to go anywhere, and they're just trying to get their price raised for the new contract.
Well, speaking of contracts in AEW, Pentagon's contract is up, and they're thinking, and rumor mill is that WWE is interested in him. He is also one of my absolutely favorite wrestlers. Like, I just fell in, I keep talking about Lucha Underground. I just fell in love with him there. And I'd like to see him. If they don't, I think now they would use him appropriately. I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago they would have brought him in and ruined him. But hopefully hopefully if they do bring him in, they'll use him correctly, because he's one of the best out there. So.
Yeah, we're looking at Axiom and his long-haired tag team partner against J.A.C and Festus.
Jesse and Festus.
I know that's not what they're called anymore, but I still
Oh,
like
that's
to
a
say,
pretty one.
Anderson Gallows.
Maybe we should just watch along and just comment.
Well, our feeds are all different. I'm watching on my phone, and y'all are watching on some other device, and so I don't know.
I am looking at Gallows's NWO like shirt.
Oh yeah, they still do the Too Sweet thing, like they did with the Bullet Club in Japan.
Their gear looks really good tonight too. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I was marking out for. I literally put y'all on mute a little while ago to tell Claire how much I liked her.
I do like the size of this arena. I was saying earlier that when my friends and I stalked WCW, we saw them in the Salem Civic Center for a house show, and how great it is to see wrestling in venues that are this size. It's so different, and it feels so much, it seems more personal when you watch in an arena like this. And I think that's one of the reasons I still like watching like smaller wrestling and things like that. So,
it's louder too.
Yeah, I went to
yeah.
Hey, when NXT ran the old Park Center down here, what they call the Grady Cole Center, next to Memorial Stadium, when they ran that a few years ago, I went because I just wanted to sit in that small room for a wrestling show of that size. And you're right, it was loud as hell in there that night. It was a lot of fun because we were sitting way up at the top, and we were still right on top of the ring. I could have flicked a penny and hit Johnny Gargano in the ear. It was just that we were still that close. Love that. So if you ever get to go to wrestling in the Grady Cole Center, do it.
But this is also the reason you should support your local indie wrestling, because you're seeing wrestling in these smaller places where it is a more personal fit and a more personal experience. And then you also get to see guys that I know are going to make it big. Not that I'm kissing ass right now, but when you see J.A.C on the big time, you can say I saw him in Mount Airy in 2023 and 24.
Hey, and Javon Evans has been through here.
Yep.
Earlier than that, Andre Chase been through here. So
way earlier. Well, we're talking about WWE. Never mind.
Yeah, but but Andre Chase
don't bring up
TV
Paige
every week. Huh?
You can still bring up Paige.
Oh yeah, he's on the. Well, I don't know where he's at. He's disappeared off TV. Is he hurt or something?
Shaving off that Magnum TA mustache.
Well, that Magnum TA mustache makes him look a little older.
Yeah. Well, that was a good way to piss off your older fans and run them off by comparing yourself to Magnum TA, who is just held in such high regard. And
you can take the shot at Paige too, because he is Justin Flash's friend. So I mean, that just says all you need to know right there.
Oh man, I love that move.
Bringing it back around.
Well,
I don't think Adam Page may have been at the correct age when he was with us.
He was 18.
No, he might have told you that, but I don't. Yeah,
plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability.
Well, I just still remember we were working way down somewhere on the eastern part of the state at some high school down there, and Jimmy Love was wrestling him, and I was filming him, and Jimmy Love is just beat. This is Adam Page has not been in the business for probably about 6 weeks, and Jimmy Love is just whipping his ass all over the ring, and he would grab a headlock, he'd look over at me and goes, I don't want to kill this kid, Matt Carter. I don't want to kill this kid. Wham! Hit him, do another move, grab him again. I don't want to kill this kid, Matt Carter. I don't want to kill him. I even said like out loud, I was like, for a guy who doesn't want to kill this kid, he sure is hitting him really hard. I'll never forget that. That is every time I see Adam Page on my TV screen, I can hear Jimmy Love's voice in my ear. I don't want to kill this kid, Matt Carter. I don't want to kill him. It's like every time I drive by Zaxby's, the words "fuck you, Lewis Moore" come in my head because he got me hooked on that stuff because he used to sell at those shows at Clayton. They used to do the concessions for him. So, but anyway, so it looks like we're all really like wanting to watch the NXT show, and
I know, which is surprising because I usually watch wrestling that's at least 30 years old.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons that AM WrestleCade gets me. So it's because that's all I like to watch. But this is
see, WrestleCade will never get, and it's no disrespect to the people that run WrestleCade or any of that kind of thing, but the older I get, when I think about being jammed in the Benton Convention Center with that many wrestling fans, some of which I know do not bathe on a regular basis. Not our fans, but they draw people from all over the country.
I'm about to say y'all's fans definitely don't damn bathe. You seen y'all's fans?
Yeah, but we spray them down before they come in. We delouse
them. They all come in all fat and obese, walking in, barely able to freaking walk up those damn stairs. It looks like their ankles are going to roll in half.
That's a cankle.
I mean, yeah, they're just cute. Oh my God. There was a couple of them that came to the freaking West Virginia show I was at Thursday. I was like, how do you walk?
All you had to say was
you know
West
how
Virginia.
I was saying nice things about J.A.C. Please don't. I don't agree with these things. I don't agree with these things.
You're just not willing to admit it.
Deep down agrees with them. Don't let her lie.
Yeah. I even was quoted on commentary one night. Somebody, I can't remember who I was working with, maybe Jonathan Darwin, but he's made a comment. He goes,
jackass.
Boy, good to see all these lovely fans in Mount Airy. And I looked around the room and I was like, the hell are you talking about? There's no good looking.
He was from West Virginia. It was a step up.
Oh yeah. Well, that explains it.
There's not a good looking person in that crowd at Mount Airy. They all look broke and homeless. Every single one of them walking in there. Oh, there's my $10. They're doing that little bit of money they make off their check. That's why we have to perform though. Like we don't perform those people. Like that's all they get.
Oh Lord. Well, if you want to just voice your dissatisfaction at any of JAC's comments, feel free to come on down to the park and give him what for in a couple of weeks. Because
or buy some merch and then do whatever you want.
Yeah, he'll probably stand there and let you insult him if you buy some merch.
I'll make my damn money. I don't care what people think of me.
But you got a pretty good merch table, man. It ain't many independent wrestlers I see with fucking trading cards, man. That's I think that's really cool.
I got some new ones.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for Japan. Like a guy made them, made me 600 of them for free as long as I signed 100 of them.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Put those away. I have a David.
No, they have Japanese writing on there. Do they have Japanese? Oh boy!
Oh.
Be careful. You might want, when you get over there, you might want to have somebody check it and make sure there's nothing offensive on there. Be like,
I'm going to, but trust me, I'm going to.
You don't want to be selling trading cards and say, hey, Yakuza's a bunch of pussies,
Yeah. Did Reagan just say something about damn David?
Well, I said, I think I have a David. I have somebody's, I thought it was David Parrish's card.
I thought you
had. Fuck David Parrish.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember whose I had. Maybe I do have just a JAC.
He don't have the hair no more.
No, he doesn't. That was Ben. I heard an audible gasp the night that happened.
The ladies were sad.
Yes, they were.
It does look good though.
Yeah, he had it fixed. He had it cleaned up after that happened.
Yeah, he had to learn how to freaking
Rachel, but
well, I have to give
David didn't look too good, but
I have to give David Parrish credit for it. He gave me the North Wilkesboro Speedway bathroom report. And good news, ladies, you can feel safe to go up to North Wilkesboro Speedway. They now have running water in the bathrooms. No more porta-johns. So if you've been like my wife and not wanting to go back up there because of that shit, you're good to go. Because I know there's a lot of women that watch this show, that are concerned about that type of thing.
David Parrish is a terrible human being. I hope he trips and falls and breaks his neck if he's in the damn bathroom. I hope he slips on a freaking puddle.
Talk about hate running deep.
And it's deep hate.
Yeah, deep hate. All right. Well, I'm out of material. Anybody got any final thoughts? We get out of here because it looks like we're getting ready to start the next match. So go watch NXT after this, guys. It's really good.
It is. I've been watching. That's why I'm looking over the computer screen. So
yeah, they're showing the strip.
Y'all go watch your PLE.
Yeah, and I gotta let this thing process and get it up on YouTube. Oh, YouTube people, like, subscribe, ring the bell.
I tried to get you to do that at the beginning. You didn't listen to me. I said ring the bell, but you didn't pay any attention.
Maybe you should get an actual bell and just ring it to remind me.
Ooh.
Mm.
You know, it's like you same way
Yeah,
you
but then I
train a
might just
cat,
like to
you
ring
know,
it.
train a cat with a bell, you know, ding 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 ding, you know, cat knows it's time to eat. I seen
No,
that. Nine Lives.
that's a dog. That's
Cats
a
are too
dog.
smart for that.
Hmm?
Cats
Well,
are too smart for that.
Well, that
You
woman
have to
on
actually turn on the can. You have to actually do the can to get a cat.
Yeah.
oh,
You gotta-
because the woman on the commercial would just tap the glass and the cat would come running for the fancy.
Bullshit, Matt Carter. Bullshit.
That's TV.
Well, okay, so
converted
now you're
magic.
going to tell me that back in the 70s, that Cat Morris that
Oh.
advertised Nine Lives really couldn't talk.
No, could not. Yeah.
Hate to break your heart.
Yeah, well, you know, I got a lot of
Ooh.
complaints about that cat being blasphemous. So.
Take it home, Bob Cottle.
All right. Yeah, we. All right. Thank you, J.A.C., for joining us. Appreciate you.
Yep.
You guys have a good night, and yeah. Until next time. So long for now.